On behalf of the senior class, I would like to welcome everyone to Fairmont High School's first graduation ever. But I would like to do more than welcome you here. I want to thank you as well. Even though the 1997 senior class is the focus of this ceremony, I would like to dedicate it to all the parents, siblings, friends, and relatives in the audience who have played a key role over the past 4 years in bringing this about. In the past, you have nurtured us, encouraged us, supported us, and of course, punished us. Your direction and guidance gave us the means to surviving this crazy world. And now, as you stood here today, you are present to share in this great moment of our accomplishment. But we do not expect this love you have given us to end here. In the future, we are depending upon the same people who brought us here to carry us through college spiritually and financially. I look into the audience and see people who have made us, people who have been there, are here, and will be there. It is you I thank, and it is you I welcome. Thank you.
I'd like to ask you all to please rise for the flag salute, and please remain standing for the national anthem. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, please remain standing.
I went into the woods because I wanted to live deliberately. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life. To put to rout all that was not life, and not when I had come to die, discovered that I had not lived. In this quote, Henry David Thoreau clenches his morality with both hands and strives to live life with no regrets. Against the norm, he escapes society to separate himself from the recurring worries associated with life's daily rituals. His perspective on life awakened a resounding compulsion in my heart to search for a fulfillment and ultimate satisfaction. After reading this passage, it felt like I had just received a brand new pair of glasses to clarify my vision. I realized that the culmination of nagging problems, which faced me time and time again, had consumed every moment of my existence and caused my dreams to be forgotten. Aspirations soon got lost as worries mounted and stress became the driving force behind my actions. But Thoreau was able to escape this sinister cycle by liberating himself from the complexities of society and seeking solace in the arms of nature. Life does not have to be hurried and prosaic. Rather, every morsel can be tasted and savored. His obsession to dig deep and suck out all the marrow of life was planted into my heart. It became my desire for change and was adopted into my reality. Due to this, a revelation quickly simmered inside me, and as it boiled, forced me to examine my own motives and make corrections accordingly. I decided that even though life could never be completely free of problems, it did not have to revolve solely around problem solving. Desires of my heart could no longer be ignored, and neither could every opportunity. Regret will be my biggest enemy when breaths become shorter and heartbeats slow to a halt. My life is mine to live and mine to control. I have found a new race to run and vow to fight. The world has showed me that every moment must be respected as an opportunity to capture another dream and strive closer to perfection. We must all learn to live out our dreams to the fullest and stick to our beliefs, even through all the obstacles that life may present our way. And only then can true happiness and success reach.
Throughout my 4 years at Fairmont High School, the most difficult task ever assigned to me is, without question, this salutatorian speech. For days I contemplated how I would go about putting into words the thoughts and emotions I felt as I saw my days at Fairmont coming to an end. While I relished the thought of venturing off to college without the supervision of my worrisome parents, there still remained that sentiment of sorrow for the goodbyes I would have to say and for the loved ones I would be leaving behind. While others may celebrate this momentous occasion as a moment of triumph and joy, the thought of departing from those close to me makes this day a period of grievance as well. When I first attended this school, I was somewhat reluctant to go back to my friends and brag about the mobile homes we held our classes in, or the small green cart the lunch lady would stroll out under the blue plastic tarp which served as our high school cafeteria. While freshmen from other schools faced the dilemma of fitting in and being accepted into the different cliques, within a few minutes the students of Fairmont High had already introduced themselves and become acquainted with the entire freshman class. From this beginning emerged a solidarity and companionship that I am now proud to have been part of for the past 4 years. From our first snowball fights at Camp Arbolado to our recent excursion to the sunny beaches of Hawaii, Fairmont's founding class has always remained a tight-knit group of friends who have always been there for each other. Attending a school with such a small population of only 28 seniors, I have had the opportunity to establish strong bonds and relationships with the majority of my fellow classmates, whom I will never forget. Having these friends with me throughout my 4 years of high school has truly made Fairmont a memorable experience which I will cherish for years to come. And so I would like to take this time to thank them for making these past years so enjoyable. But as quickly as we met and befriended one another, each of the graduates must now travel their separate ways to pursue their dreams and life goals. Spread throughout this great nation, each of us must establish our own individuality and stake our independence from the halls of high school and embrace of our parents. Through college, we can start our lives anew in a new environment with new friends and a new way of life. Yet amongst this period of change and growth, I believe that the memories within the Stanton estate will never depart from those who truly understood the opportunity we were given here at Fairmont. As I leave my past to clear the way for the future, I will always carry an emptiness within me as I reminisce of the times when I could roam the hallways of the Stanton estate and see the familiar faces of every Fairmont student. I will miss the camaraderie of my teammates as we endured through both victory as well as defeat. And I will miss our moments of glory when we stood up for what we truly believed in. I will miss the casual conversations I had while sitting in the quad, listening to the latest gossip or just relaxing with others after a hard day's work. But most of all, I will miss my friends, those who taught me that laughter can cure the most complex ailments and heal the deepest wounds. I know that these friendships I have made are strong enough to endure through the tests of time, and I shall anticipate the day when we can all come together once again and pick up from where we had left off. But before we embark on a journey into the real world of adult responsibilities, I would like to look back upon the memories that will forever remind me of my days as a Husky. Looking back at our freshman year, I have recognized changes in each and every student. From the rowdy freshmen of Camp Arbolado who spent their nights insulting each other with denials and rejections, have emerged a class of dignified young adults who now make obscene noises with their armpits and dance around the English room just to avoid another essay during fifth period. Words alone will never be enough to describe those spontaneous moments when Dan decides to do a blitzkrieg shimmy in the middle of class, or when Mr. Warner delivered his famous karate chop to the seniors. Who can ever forget the parties at Frazier's when the senior girls decided to scatter everyone's shoes throughout the house, or when the senior guys decided to treat James, Frazier's 9-year-old son, bowling at 12 o'clock midnight. I'll even miss the little things that I took for granted during my years at Fairmont. like watching Umin force the freshmen to salute him every time they pass by, or pulling all-nighters with my fellow procrastinators every time we had an important project due the following morning. Though I'm sure the future holds many new memories which I will look back upon in my old age, these defining moments at Fairmont will forever hold a special place in my heart. Gazing upon the faces of our graduating class, I am proud to be in the accompaniment of such talented individuals who I believe will constitute the leaders of tomorrow. Many of these young adults have matured tremendously throughout these past 4 years, and to have witnessed this growth has been a remarkable experience for me. Watching the way they present themselves, talk to others, or act in public, one realizes the talent many of these seniors possess to help them succeed in the world. As I look around at my fellow peers, I see skillful artists, aspiring doctors, and sharp businessmen prepared to make a name for themselves in society. And I believe the high expectation of Fairmont's demanding curriculum has contributed to this lust for success and desire to become the best at whatever they do. Whether they decide to pursue a profession in business, medicine, law, or other field of study, these 28 students sitting before you will make an impact on the world. So remember the names and faces of these individuals sitting before you today, for they have the potential to become the success stories of tomorrow. And now, as I bid adieu to Fairmont, its faculty, students, memories, and my youth, I would like to wish the best of luck to all the graduates of '97, and leave this final message. Though success may bring money and prestige, the friendships and memories you experience on the way are what truly makes life fulfilling. Thank you.
My dream has truly become a reality. Over the last many years, and especially the last 4 years, I've tried my best to be as positive as I could and to keep that dream alive. But I have to admit there have been to the graduate. As I sat here preparing for this, I kept wishing maybe we should have tried somebody else so they didn't end up with me. Except this has been my life. Not just this class, but this school, but education. And to be a part of this group of students, to be able to hopefully try and leave a message that will add to the great education that they've had, that will help send them on the right way, is my hope, my prayer, and my dream. I've known many of you out there, and especially here, for many years. Some as far back as kindergarten, and the elementary grades in junior high. I am fond of telling the stories that are continual of feeling that, when I'm not feeling that, all I have to do is go out onto the playground of the kindergarten, first, second, and third graders, and they have the most incredible resource of unconditional love. They share it with us daily. They make you feel like you're something really special. I can remember talking to many of you, and many of you out there, when you were that age, and saying, "Hey, you're not going to change when you get older, will you? You're still going to treat me the same way?" "Oh yes, Mr. Jackson, we will." Somehow that changes when you hit 6th, 7th, 8th grade. There seems to be some kind of unwritten law that says you're not supposed to like the principal, or the head of the school. But this group has continually made me feel special. At the baccalaureate this last Sunday, I had the great opportunity of talking to many of the students about one of the most important aspects I feel of life, and that's taking what we have and giving it to others, service to others. I hope and pray that all of these graduates will find the joy and the happiness and the peace that they will receive as they take of all that they have and share it with others and serve others. One cold wintry day, a ragged little urchin stood on a street corner of a large city selling a smile lighted his cold little face as he took her hand. She led him to a large, warm department store where she had him completely outfitted from head to toe in warm clothes. The boy was putting on the last of his new clothes as the woman paid the bill and slipped quietly out the door. When he finished dressing, he looked for the lady to tell her thank you, but he was told by the clerk that she had gone. He ran from the store, frantically looking up and down the street. He must find the lady to thank her. There she was, walking down the street. He ran quickly to her, took her hand and said, "Lady, why did you go? I wanted to thank you." "You're most welcome, dear," she smiled. The little boy then looked up into her face and said solemnly, "Lady, who are you? Are you God's wife?" "No," she said softly, "I'm just one of his children." "Oh, I knew it," he smiled with tears in his eyes. "I just knew you were some relation." I know that all of us are a relation of God, and he loves all of us, and he will do all that he can to make us successful and help us to be as happy as we can. I feel the greatest amount of pride and joy as I spend time with each and every one of these wonderful seniors and now graduates. They have worked so hard these past years. They've complained a lot about it. I know you've heard it and I've heard it. They've been pretty good at listening to the teachers, to the staff, and obeying your parents. You're not laughing. I've talked to a lot of you, and I have heard that they're not always listening to us, obeying us, and doing what they're supposed to do. But I have to say, this group here has probably been one of the best. I know there was many that thought, go, but I deep down knew the kind of character that they had. And I am proud to say that I had one of the best weeks, one of the most enjoyable times being with these incredible young people. They were well behaved. We never got any complaints, except maybe for one that said a group of the boys were singing a little too loud at night. I think they really weren't complaining about the loudness. I think it was about the fact that the harmony wasn't too high. But it was a fantastic time to be with them. They've grown so much these last many years. That's the exciting part. As we watched yesterday morning at their breakfast and saw the pictures that you sent in of our sons and our daughters when they were babies, and now as they graduate, we can see the incredible change in them. I can remember some of you young men back in kindergarten and first grade, when the girls would come by, you'd pick on them, you'd torment them, you hated them. And some of you girls tried to ignore the boys, their torments, and the way that they treated you. But boy, has time changed. Look at you now. The teacher emphasized over and over again the importance of becoming familiar with verses of poems and literature. "You have my assurance," he told the class, "that if you repeat anything 10 or 12 times, it will be yours forever." On the back row, a young girl sighed, closed her eyes, and whispered, "Danny, Danny." Danny. I have to admit, I did change the name on this a little bit for purpose. It hasn't been easy, but I know that it's been worth it for all of us, and especially for you graduates. You've faced some mighty obstacles on the way, but you will face even greater obstacles in the future. Those obstacles can be overcome. At the age of 20, Art was happier than he had ever been before in his life. I was active physically. I was a competitive water skier and snow skier and played golf, tennis, racquetball, basketball, and volleyball. I had just started a new tennis court construction company, so my financial future looked exciting and bright. I was engaged to the most beautiful woman in the world. Then the tragedy occurred, or at least some called it that. I awoke with a sudden jolt to the sound of twisting metal and breaking glass. As quickly as all started, it was quiet again. Opening my eyes, my whole world was darkness. As my senses began to return, I could feel the warmth of blood covering my face. Then the pain. It was excruciating and overwhelming. I could hear voices calling my name as I slipped away into unconsciousness. I had been in a terrible car accident. When the car finally came to a stop, I was gone. I had been ejected from the vehicle and had broken my neck on the desert floor. I was paralyzed from the chest down. This is where my life began. The doctors said I would have to dream new dreams and think new thoughts. They said because of my physical condition, I would never work again. They told me that I would never drive again, that for the rest of my life I would be completely dependent on others to eat, to get dressed, to even get from place to place. They said I should never expect to get married because who would want me? They concluded that I would never again play any kind of athletic sport or competitive activity. For the first time in my young life, I was really afraid. I was afraid that when they said what they said might really come true. During this critical time of natural doubts and fears, when my whole world seemed so dark, my mother came to my bedside and whispered in my ear, "Art, while the difficult takes time, the impossible just takes a little longer." Suddenly, a once darkened room began to fill with the light of hope and faith that tomorrow would be better. Since hearing those words 11 years ago, I am now president of my own company. I am a professional speaker to Fortune 500 companies, national associations, sales organizations, and youth groups. In 1992, I was named the Young Entrepreneur of the Year by the Small Business Administration for a 6-state region. In 1994, Success Magazine honored me as one of the great comebacks of the year. These are dreams that have come true for me in my life. These dreams came true not in spite of my circumstances, but perhaps because of them. Since that day, I have learned to drive. I am completely independent, and I take care of myself. Since that day, I have had feelings return to my body and have gained back some of the use and function of my right triceps. I got married to that same beautiful and wonderful girl a year and a half after that fateful day. In 1992, Dallas, my wife, was named Miss Utah and was third runner-up to Miss USA. We have 2 children. I have also returned to the world of sports. I have learned to swim, scuba dive, and parasail. As far as I know, I am the first quadriplegic of record to parasail. I have learned to snow ski. I also race wheelchairs in 10-kilometer and marathons. Why have I done all these things? Because a long time ago, I chose to listen to the voice of my mother and to my heart rather than the concourse of dissenting voices around me, which included medical professionals. I decided that my current circumstances did not mean I had to let go of my dreams. I found a reason to hope again. I learned that dreams are never destroyed by circumstances. Dreams are born in the heart and mind, and only there can they ever die. Because while the difficult takes time, the impossible just takes a little longer. I know that there is nothing that is impossible for these young people here. I know that they are capable of accomplishing and doing anything, from being the greatest athlete to being President of the United States, to being a leader in everything. They just have to make sure that they listen to the right voice. I know that if they listen to you, their moms and dads, to their leaders that would never tell them you can't, that they can and they will. I stopped listening years ago to some of those that would tell me I couldn't. To some that said, you can't go to college. To some that would say, and I'm so thankful for both of them, for all their encouragement and help throughout the years. I know that all of you have given that same encouragement for them to accomplish what they have. That encouragement needs to increase now at this point in their lives. They're going to be on their own. They're going to be some people get frozen by that fear of failure. I don't believe you can achieve anything by being passive. I'm not thinking about anything except what I'm trying to accomplish. Any fear is an illusion. You think something is standing in your way, but nothing is really. I couldn't dog it to being the best. If you're trying to achieve, there will be roadblocks. I've had them, everybody has had them. But obstacles do not have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. Many of you, and especially many of our graduates, have done just that. We've seen them. We've seen them meet those obstacles and get around them, go over them, or go right through them. You may not be Michael Jordan yet, but in your choice of endeavor, you can reach that pinnacle of success that you strive for. Today is not the end of a journey. Today is the beginning of an opportunity. Don't kick back and relax on your laurels, like so many others ahead of you have done. Keep the same strength that you had and the same. Don't quit. Go for it. Do your best. You are truly the first class. On a personal note, I'm very proud of one individual student here. I've done my best over the last 13
graduation requirements of Fairmont Private High School are hereby awarded certificates of completion, the first ever diplomas in the history of Fairmont High School.
Amandeep Singh Basin. Neil Sangari. Sabrina Tan. Cam Tai. Gurkirat Jawar. Lauren Jackson. Kimberly Green. Daniel Sean Pittaway. Elizabeth Rule. Kung Duc Tran. Alpesh Patel. Anthony C. Pham. Rebecca Fong. Jeremy Jianhong Chen. Derek Young. Gary Kuei-Ching Liu. Brian David Hinch. Eileen Voyevitia-Punt. Tyler Young. Helen Yuting Sha. Douglas Taofang Cheng. Amy Ansji. Pradeep Satya Prasad. Lou Peck. And company. Good job, Lou! Yolanda Cheng. Ryan Rudolph Gayton. Roy Kim. Omar Ali Hashmi. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 1997.
We came, we saw, and we conquered. 6 words, ladies and gentlemen, that so accurately describe our ascension to this platform this evening. And what an ascension it has been. For those of us who have been with Fairmont over these past years, we have seen so much, and as others have stated this evening, we have grown so much. My friends who have spoken before me have pointed out some of the most vivid and memorable highlights from these past years. They have shown us that our high school experience in every sense of the word has been memorable. For this reason, I would like to take this opportunity to speak about the future. Let us face it, the future is scary. As we sit here remembering all the great times we shared, many of us are also thinking about what these next few years will bring. In our rapidly changing world today, many of us will have to take risks. Many of us will venture into uncharted territory. Indeed, the structured, organized life we've grown accustomed to in high school will no longer be. We will be on our own, no longer within the refuge of our home and high school walls. On our own. These are very powerful words. We now make our own decisions, we choose our own paths, and pursue our own dreams. It's so very easy to be scared with these new responsibilities on our shoulders. But we needn't be. We as graduates of Fairmont High School have the edge. Our school has provided us with the very best role models by which to mold our lives. Mr. Jackson faced an immense cloud of uncertainty in creating this high school. Our administrators walked in blind with the duties of creating new policy and order. And our teachers and advisors had to test new waters with creating new curricula and advising new clubs. Truly, even our own parents have had to overcome uncertainty in sending us to this school. But in the end, we see that it has all paid off. As we graduate tonight and face the fears that lie before us, we have the peace of mind to know that we can conquer those obstacles of the future. We, as the class of 1997, look upon this crowd and see living proof that we can persevere. Ladies and gentlemen, you should be especially proud this evening, for you're not merely witnessing the graduation of your students, sons or daughters. In each and every one of us, you are witnessing the fruits of your own faith and the courage of uncertainty. You have given us a model by which we lead our lives, and for this, we thank you. Though we sit here, thrilled at having completed our high school courses, we are by no means so short-sighted to believe that we are done. We do not expect the world to fall to our feet. Baccalaureate night provided a resounding reminder that as we enter the world and out of the confines of our homes and schools, we will come into elements that will continually attempt to tear us down. But this is nothing new for the class of 1997. We as a class have faced the arduous and often frustrating periods of being a tiny school, the instability of moving from a trailer park to a new school building to a new school campus, and the daunting presence of much larger schools that have at times challenged us to near capitulation in athletic and extracurricular activities. But we have never folded. In fact, some of my greatest heroes not only sit in the audience tonight, but next to me on stage as well. I'm proud of you, class of 1997. As the first class of this high school, we have proven time and time again that we are truly first class. And so we sit here tonight, ready to move on to new adventures. Some of us moving out of state, some of us moving to other countries. But once again, we need not be afraid, for yet we have another strength, our friendship. As we have each received our diplomas, we have received a piece of the school which serves to bind us together. And I challenge you, class of 97, not to let this bond die. For what we cannot do alone, we can do together. Without sounding cliche, we are, after all, friends for life. And so with this, I hope to see that if we meet back in the future, when we meet back in the future, that we can honestly say to this world that we have seen, we have come, and we have conquered. Thank you.
The class of 1997 would like to thank you for being here and sharing in this occasion with them, supporting them, participating with them. Now they would like to invite you to step out in the courtyard area, take pictures. Congratulations. And also, we have some refreshments. We hope that you will partake of the refreshments before you go for the evening. Thank you very much.
Good morning.